Welcome to this look at the new Goweil Pack on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Tuesday, it's the 21st of March, and the Goweil Pack has released today the first pack, first DLC of part of the Year 2 Season Pass. There's a couple of things you will probably need to be aware of. I'm just going to hand you off to a previous MrSealyp. So here's the thing with this pack today, which is a little bit different. If you've got the Year 2 Season Pass, which is €39.99, whatever it will be in the country you're in, but that's what it is in euros, it's a free download. So it will give you the option to download it. Once you download it, it won't be showing, I'll show you what I mean, it won't be showing here under downloadable content. All the previous DLCs and stuff in the Year 1 Season Pass are all here with their prices. Bottom right tells you how much they all cost. The Goweil Pack isn't showing in there once you've downloaded and installed it, which is unusual. Whether it will appear in there at some point, I'm not sure. If you don't have the Year 2 Season Pass, you don't have to get the Year 2 Season Pass. You can buy it as a separate DLC. In euros, it's $9.99. Obviously, there's going to be quite a few bits coming out as part of the Year 2 Season Pass. It will work out cheaper to buy the Season Pass and get all the packs technically for free, but you've already paid for the Season Pass. But if you don't want to, you can buy it as a separate DLC. It won't be showing in here, but what will then happen is when you load the game up, it's there as part of all your equipment. So yeah, that's the situation. We'll go back to the game now, and I'll show you, where it all is and the slot counts and that kind of stuff as we move forward. Another thing to be aware of while you're uploading your game, whatever map you're putting it onto, whatever map you're going to try it out on, if you've got it. Even though it's not showing as downloadable DLC or downloaded DLC, it is still under the selectable mods for any map. So make sure you don't just go on and assume it's going to be there. You have to make sure you select it, and then you can start your map up. Okay, so just so you're aware, that's all that was about. I know a couple of people have messaged me already to say, were you aware it's here, were you aware it was there? That's what I was looking at. So you've got to make sure you select it under your selectable mods for whatever map you're going on to, although it's not showing as a downloaded DLC, which is unusual, but it is sitting there. So you have to make sure it's selected, otherwise you won't be able to find it in your equipment and machinery. So what are we starting with? In front of me we have got the G1 F125 baler. We have got in this pack 9 pieces of equipment. We've got, well, it's a wrap battle basically. We've got one standard baler, we've then got a baler wrapper, we've got wrappers, we've got a couple of tools, bits of equipment. We're going to go through them all. There's a couple of things I've tried out because I thought there'd be questions. People say, will this work, will that work, can it do this, can it do that? So we'll have a look at a couple of extra things as well. So like I say, in front of me the G1 F125 baler. This will do 125cm bales, and it will do grass, hay, straw bales as a standard baler will do. On console, 10 slots. The whole pack, as you'll imagine, is very nicely made. There's a lot of nice stuff in here, and what we'll probably do is look at the options on the various different bits once we go in to have a look at them. If we go into our balers now, they should all be there. So we'll have a look at them all in here, then we'll go out and we'll have a look at as we go around, and then we'll do the same with the wrappers. Obviously some of these are wrappers as well, but then we've got separate wrappers. It will make sense as we go around. So 59,500 slot count will come down to 1. It will run at 10 miles an hour. Options on this one, we've got Trelleborg, BKT, Vredestein, back to Trelleborg. On the Trelleborg, standard wide, BKT, standard wide, Vredestein wide, and wide 2. License plate option on there as well. There's no option on this for a silage additive tank. What we should be able to do, I'm going to need to do some bales because we're going to need something for the bale wrappers to do. So turn it on, drop the pickup, does have a beacon, we do have lights, with indicators there too. Pickup seems pretty good on them, to be fair. We can also turn on automatic drop if we want, but when we get to the point it's ready to unload we do have to stop. This is not a fast bale or anything like that, none of them in the pack are. Back up just a little bit, automatic drop on. Now you might not want automatic drop on, That's normally on there as well if you're working on hillsides and stuff like that and you don't want your bales to roll away. It might be you want to be able to turn then unload, so you can turn the automatic drop off. As you can see, we've got the bale selection, a bale counter on there. One of the ones I missed a while back. If we just turn that off, you can reset the bale counter, so you've got the legacy bale count, so the bale count the bale has done in its entire life. That's on the right hand side, top left right hand side, and then you've got the bale counter for the session you're on. So you might want to keep a track of how many bales you've done in this particular session, so you can reset the bale counter whenever you need to. Turn it back on again. And what we're going to do now is bale a strip of grass bales. Like I say, it will do the types of bales you need to regularly. When we go into the other ones, they get a little bit more fruity, shall we say. Fairly fast on the unload, to be fair. So I'm going to get a few more bales done, and then I will see you for the next one, which is the G-1 F125 Kombi, which is a baler wrapper, 14 slots, will also do 125cm bales. I will see you momentarily. So as I said, next we have this, the G1 F125 Kombi. As I said, 14 slots, 125cm bales. This one will do as well. This one, yeah, this one has the option of a silage additive tank. That's an interesting thing, actually. We'll talk about a little bit later on. That should give you a 5% yield increase if you're doing silage bales. So whatever grass you're picking up off the ground with the silage additive, it gives you a little bit of a yield increase, so you get more bang for your buck, which is very nice. I didn't then do what I said I was going to do. No, we're going to go through and have a look at them all here, won't we? So the GF125 Kombi, 96,500, slot count will come down to 1, also 10 mile an hour. So options on this one. Wrapper design, we've got standard on the back, or we've got a bale turner. So with these ones, rather than having to pick a place to drop your bales, if you are on a hillside, a slope or something like that, the bale turner will turn them on their side so they sit flat, they won't roll away. So that's a nice option to have if you want to have the bale end turner on. Silage additive tank, yes or no, and then foil colour choices, any one of those. We'll change our wrap, then we've got a license plate option too. Now these first few in here are nothing new. In all honesty, I've done it again, haven't I? In all honesty, these two, which are pretty cool actually, with the things they will do extra, the LT Masters and the VARIO-Master. We have had a similar version of this modded. Was it a Pertinger one we had? But this does some extra things as well. So that's a static baler. So we'll have a look at them in here. Like I said, we'll go and have a look in a moment. But the LT Master F115, 240 grand slot count will come down to 1. This one is different to that one because this one will only do 125cm bales. That one will do 125s and 150s. The size of the hopper is 20,000 litres. You can do your straw bales and you can do your hay bales. They won't wrap. Your grass bales will. Chaff bales, so if you're doing a silage harvest on your cornfields, rather than taking it to a bunker silo, having to compact it, then wrap it, you can directly wrap bales if you want to on the chaff. Then you've also got sugar beet cut bales, and you've got total mix ration bales we can do in here as well. The total mix ration bales I think more than the sugar beet cut. To be fair, you can use sugar beet cut for pig food. No, is it sugar beet or sugar beet cut? No, sugar beet, isn't it? They're a little bit more of an enigma. Unless there's something new coming for them, generally speaking, you would probably normally just sell your sugar beet cut or take it for doing sugar or something like that. But it gives you the option to bale them. Total mix ration, I get a little bit more. If you're on a farm and you haven't got a silo for putting your total mix ration, or you don't want to do it with a silo, you're doing all bale work, you can want to use one of these, and then you can make your total mix ration, stick it in these, make bales, they wrap the bales, so you can store them outside. It's a bit more of an immersive feel to it. So with these ones, same option on this. That's actually on the front of this one. We've got wrappers designed standard or with bale end turner. I think I've done for one of each, and then we've got a silage additive tank, yes or no. That puts that down the back there at the bottom. Foil colour, the same options, and then license plate on there. And then like this one, 259,000, slot count comes down to 1. Like I said, the difference between the two is this will do 2 different bale sizes rather than just one. Hopper size is the same. Bale end turner option the same. Silage additive tank and foil colour and license plate too. So let's get on to looking at the Kombi baler. Now, with most of the baler wrappers, Kombi balers, however you want to refer to them. If you're not doing grass, they won't wrap. So it will only wrap grass. So if I do straw bale first, same thing, I can put automatic drop on if I want. Don't have to. That slides the whole out from the back. I do like that actually, that's pretty cool. Nice animation there. So turn it on, drop our pickup. And like I said, it's not a fast bale, so once it's get full silage additive tank on these ones, it's 100 litres. If you've gone for the silage additive tank. You do need to stop, let it unload. But it will drop automatically because it won't wrap a straw bale. And that's a bale in turner, so I'll put it on the side like that. Very nice. Whereas our grass bales will wrap. At least that's the plan. Good job, beacon, as you can see. A little bit. Once that starts to wrap and it clears the chamber, we can start moving forward again. Door shuts and off we go. And there we go. So that's the G1 F125 Kombi. Pretty efficient. Now we move on to the LT Master F115 and the VARIO-Master V140. The F115 is 24 slots, the VARIO-Master V140 is 21 slots. And here it is, or here they are, in all their glory. I have to say these are very cool. I remember watching, I'm sure it was Goweil years ago, on a Let's Play using one of these. I can't remember what the map was now. It was an Irish map, I think. So this whole thing will unfold. I'm going to show you, we're going to put some straw through just to show that, again, with the other one that we just saw, if you're putting straw or hay through, it won't wrap it, it'll just put it out the other side. Then I have got, we've got some chaff. I'm going to show you that. We'll put some chaff through. We've got sugar beet cut and we've got some total mix ration, so we'll run that through as well. I've also got something I was going to try out and I've got that set up ready to go as well. So we've seen the options on these. Did I go for a silage additive? Yes, got a silage additive tank on there. I think the additive tank on these ones are 450 litres, not 100 litres. Now we can unfold once we've got the engine running on the tractor. We can unfold from the tractor or from outside. If we go to here, L1, we'll say fully unfold baler. There's your hopper, 20,000 litres. That one's got your regular unload, so regular unload, and the other one I've gone for a bale in turn. So that's it in its ready to go position. We can, and when you get close to it, you've got the little screen there, top left, if you've got your help window open, which is pretty cool. Shows you what's in the hopper, what's not. If you're in the tractor doing it, it shows you what's in the hopper, what's feeding through, what the bales and what pieces of machinery and equipment are operating, which is very cool. Now, as far as collecting the bales, if you're playing multiplayer, you might have some of you doing this. Some people loading it up. You can load this hopper up using conveyor belts. There's the Dr. Julia one that picks up from the floor. You can probably do it from a silo, which I'm going to show you something in a minute, which will kind of give you a bit of an idea that there's no reason why we shouldn't do. Trailers, people will think of all ingenious ways of getting this to work. You might have someone collecting the bales and putting them onto a trailer. We do have the option, of course, you have got auto load balers, auto stacks, sorry, auto stack balers and auto load balers. If you've got an auto loader, you can set your auto load trailer next to it, have it in its operating position, and it will just take the bales as they go, which will make life so much easier. We'll have a go at doing that in a moment as well. So yeah, I think we're probably ready to put something in. We'll do straw on the first run. We'll fill the hopper up, and we can start the whole thing off and running. So it should come up with the unload option when you get right to it. There we go. Do that. So hopper's full, we're good to go. You can see in the back, the picture at the top is saying 20,000 litres is in there. If we turn on the baler, remember this one we can't change bale size, so it's 125 centimetre. We can turn on or off automatic drop, so again you don't have to have the automatic drop on. It makes life a little bit easier when the static ones, but again you might not want to. So what we'll do now is turn on baler. Into the chamber, as you can see down in there. Bottom right and top left, it's showing you 5,000 litre bales. It's showing you what's come out of the hopper. That will automatically unload because it won't wrap. Now I think when it's got a full bale, it won't unload the next one if the unload point's not clear. Which we can see momentarily. So it'll take the bale, I'm pretty sure it won't unload it. So I thought it'd be cool if they're like this, if it unloads it will just roll it into the air, there you go. It will roll into the next one, push it away, but it doesn't, so you need to clear the area. So as I said, what we can do, if you've got an auto load trailer, operating position. There you go, see that there. So the whole thing can keep chugging away. You can just auto load them as it goes, which makes life a little bit easier. Move that. Move that one out of the way. But if you want to use, if you want to be, I say, more realistic, you can do it with a bale handle or something like that. You can get these to fit in. Open that up. And then you bring that one in a little bit. Now again with this one, it works a little bit better if there's two of you, but it doesn't need to be two of you because that one will still operate. Because when you've got the next bale coming out, if this grab off of the auto stack's in the way, you need to back up a little bit, let the bale drop down, then pull forward a bit. So there's a little bit of forwards and backwards, but again it's fairly automated, it'll work, it does the job, which is really good. So that's the first one. We can fold it all back up from here if we want to. Turn off the baler. You can fold the baler. Where are we? And fully fold it. There we go. There we go. Right. So let's check out these new bales, shall we? Start the engine and we'll turn this to one side already. There we go. So, fully unfold. This one's got a bale end turner. I didn't put any silage additive in it. Ah, that's alright. So, we can change bale size on this one. 125 to 150. I'll put them on 100 and... Yeah, I'll put 150s, it won't hurt, will it? Right, that's good to go. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to sling through sugar beet cut. It's certainly something a bit different, anyway. So let's turn on the baler. Certainly something a bit different process to run and operate. There you go. And then they get wrapped. Now these can be cut, the same as you can with silage bales. We'll have a look at that in a moment as well. Baler and turner should knock on its side. There you go. But again, this won't unload the next one because that one's in the way. So while that's unloading the hopper, I'm just going to go and empty this trailer or unload this trailer. Ah, that's interesting. I think the auto-load trailer took the bale before it wrapped. That's something to live and learn and be aware of if you are using auto-load. Yeah, that one didn't. So it's got the netting round it from the baler, but the auto-load function from the trailer took it from the back of here before it had a chance to wrap it. That's curious. Right, we'll need to back that out of the way. So we should be able to do unload bales. Unload bales here. We should be able to cut these. There you go, cut open bale. So once it is cut open, it will look like that. If you want to store them up, you can. So that's your sugar beets. Now the other curious thing to check, at the moment there's 3,500 litres. It was 3,500 litres, has it? Right, so it's taken the first bit of that and kept it as a sugar beet cut bale. So it does what other balers do. Depending on how much you've got in there, it will either give you a bale of the previous type or it will switch it to the new type depending how much is in there when it first does it. Is this going to take it automatically? Right, so that one's sugar beet cut. That one's total mixed ration. We'll have a look at the total mixed ration one going in a moment. Now is probably a good time actually to have a look at one of the grabs. Where did I leave it? So we've got two grabs in this pack. This one here, was it? I'm trying to think, what was the company? I said this before. There was a company, and was it back on FS17? I'm trying to think now. We had some grabs like this, began with a T. I think it was an Irish company. Anyway, so we've got this grab here, which is square bales, 180 centimetres. This one is the BTGQU, 2 slots. And the other one is the bale handler RGB, which is for round bales. I'm going to go and grab the round bale one because we're going to use that to move those bales out of the way rather than using the auto load. Like I say, there's a few different ways of going about doing this. We have got some square bales here because we've got a square bale wrapper we're going to look at in a moment as well. But I'm just going to go and grab the round bale grab. Where did I leave it? This one here is the bale handler RGB. So the BTGQU, the square one, and the round one. This says it will do 150 centimetre bales. It won't do the very, very big ones, I don't think. Again, these aren't new to the game, they're just part of the Goweil pack. The great thing about these, either one, depending on what you're operating them with, we can have it on 3-point link, we can have it on front loader, which is this is, or we can have it for telehandler. So if you've got the bale end turner, you can do it that way around. If you haven't got the bale end turner and it comes off the other way, you just grab the bales that way. It's so much the other way. Whichever you'd rather do. There's no tension strap or anything on these. There are loads of different ones you to choose from. Move that away. So let's watch the next one come out, or it wraps. So the top mix ration in the middle of that one. So you can store your top mix ration bales for your animals outside. It's a little bit time consuming. I guess a lot of people, if they're going to make total mix ration in their feed mixer, if you're going to make the total mix ration anyway, but then you've got the option to store it, I guess you would argue, well, why you're going to spend the time wrapping it as well. If you've already made your total mix ration, you've then got another step you've got to do to make total mix ration bales. It's a fair point, you know. Again, you don't have to do them. It's an option to have. And then the last option we're going to have a look at on the VARIO-Master V140 will be the chaff, which is, again, so now these, like I said, neither of these, the sugar beet cut or the total mix ration bales, these are not silage bales. That doesn't say anything down there bottom right. It says total mix ration and it's mass. These ones say sugar beet cut and they're mass. Doesn't say anything about fermenting. These are not silage bales, these are just separate types of bales. We can cut these open and there's your total mix ration, good to go. However, if you are doing a silage harvest on a field, so if you're using a forage harvester, you're cutting your corn for silage, you couldn't wrap chaff before. So you would have to take it to a silage clamp, which generally speaking, if you're doing a silage harvest, people generally do because there's a lot of it. But I suppose you could have a few of these running. Again, if you're doing multi-plat, let's move that out of the way. So, let's go and grab the chaff, because the chaff is out of the field at the moment. So, as I said, if you're doing a silage harvest like this, there we go. You get your 20,000 litres, or whatever you're taking in. Obviously, if you've got a much bigger trailer, you can have the trailer sat behind the hopper of the static baler, and you just keep filling it up whenever it needs filling up. So the first one will be the total mix ration bale, because there was a lot of total mix ration still in there when the chaff came in. Next one will be chaff, which will wrap, and that will say fermenting, so this will be a silage bale. So with these ones, straw and hay will come out as they are, total mix ration will come out as total mix ration, sugar beet cut will come out as sugar beet cut. Grass and chaff are the two which will wrap and make silage bales. So what we should see with this one, bottom right, it should say, there you go, chaff and fermenting, so it's starting to ferment. So that's the LT Master F115 and the VARIO-Master V140. What I am going to do, because this was the other thing I was curious about, was, will this work from a buy anything silo, and will it work from a silo? Now I would say if you're doing it from a silo, and I found this with other things as well, it depends how high the spout is. If the spout's very high, the chute, the auger, whatever you refer to it, if it's too high, it won't always recognise it. So I thought, if I get a buy anything silo, would it work from that? This is just, I was just curious. Start the engine. And it does say, top left, start filling. So if I start filling, it gives me the option. I can do a straw bale, hay bale, grass bale, total mix ration, chaff, sugar beet cut. So we can, if you wanted to do it just directly, if you didn't want to go for all the rest of the hassle. And I know people say, oh, that's cheating. Again, you don't have to do it. I'm just saying, but if you want to, you could pick the cheaper one of the grass and the chaff, whichever one is the cheaper. Fill up your hopper. Turn on the baler. And away it goes. So you can do it all directly from there if you wanted to. Again, that's entirely up to you. I just wanted to check it. I was curious to see whether or not it would work. And it turns out it will. Will it work for every silo? If it's a multi-fruit, obviously. If it's not a multi-fruit, you won't be able to store these things in it. But that's going to be, like I say, depends on the chute height and that kind of stuff, whether or not that will work properly. But it does seem to work, which is nice. Again, there are going to be so many ways people are going to try different things with this, using all various different bits of equipment. People will try and automate these as best they can, using bale pushers and bale slides, and you know, there's so many things in so many ways. Auto load trailers, auto stack trailers. You know, like I say, once these get released out into the general population, the ingenuity of people always astounds me. Things I would never have thought to do are, you know, are pretty cool. So we move on to the last section then, and that's what are considered the bale wrappers. Now, obviously, with the three we've just looked, four we've just looked at, three of the four we just looked at are bale wrappers, baler wrappers, but these are just wrappers. These don't bale; these are just wrappers. Let's go into bale wrappers because I can't remember what order I did it in. Right. The one that goes on the front loader, sorry, wrong way around. That's the 1015. The G5020 is a trailed wrapper. The Q Profi is a trailed wrapper, but it can be set down and that can run independently. It can just be put in place, you can bring bales to it. That one, here in the middle, you can drive up to bales. We've had bale wrappers like this before, again. You can drive up across the field, pick up the bales, wrap them, drop them, boom, off you go. This one, you can't do that. You can drive it to a bale, but you need something else to put the bale on. You can't pick a bale up with it, if that makes sense. So slot counts on these, we've got 5, 6 and 8 slots, 16 grand, 27 grand, 52 grand. And these will just wrap grass bales. These won't do chaff or anything like that because you can't bale the chaff other than using those mobile ones and that the static ones, and they wrap automatically. So on this one we've got a support roller, yes or no. You can have it 3-point or front loader attacher or telehandler. Foil colour, same options we usually get. The middle one, wrapper design, standard or with bale end. There you go, Turner. We've got Trelleborg or Vredestein with those options, foil colour and license plate, and then the 4010Q Profi, just foil colour and a license plate option on there on that one. So this one, the G1015, I've got it on the telehandler. What's nice about this, you can take it to the field if you've got bales stacked up somewhere, or you know, you can use this not just for wrapping but also for stacking. If you've got it on a telehandler, because you've got the ability to then raise it up. Once you've wrapped a bale, you can put it up on whatever you want to, whether it be on a trailer or something else. Gives you a few more options on it. This one we can have auto drop off or on. If you put it on, it will drop them straight on the floor. So if you want to load onto trailers and stuff, you probably don't want to have that on. So what we want to do with this one is unfold the wrapper. There we go. Now with the roller on the back, that just gives you a kind of a bump stop, but allows it, once it's on the ground, it will roll forward on that roller, which is quite nice. You might want to tilt it forward a little bit, you don't have to. Just turn it off. So as I said, if you don't want it to just automatic drop, if you want to be able to take it and put it onto a trailer, then leave it like that. Then when you get to your trailer, wherever you're going, actually what we'll do, take this up next to the next bale. Now the only trouble with stacking these, if you are going to stack these bales, is because the actual wrapper opens up at the bottom, as you'll see now when I drop that down to about there and then unload, because those bars open quite wide. Trying to put bales next to each other to stack them is a little bit trickier, but you can put them down and then just, I guess, force them together is the wrong way of looking at it, but I'll show you what I mean. But it can be done. Again, I don't want to have the auto drop off, but if you are just going across the field and you're, like I say, if you're multiplaying and you're going across the field and you're using this, you're doing the wrapping, have it an auto drop, and then someone else comes on, collects them, that's absolutely fine. So So what you can do, well, is get as close as you can without knocking it, which will probably be about there. Let's back up a little bit. So if I unload there, gives me enough room to get that out in between. Didn't really line up particularly well, but it's all good. If I fold the wrapper down a little bit, you can just give them a little bit of a nudge forward so they're right next to each other. Then the next one you can put on top or next to it. Like I say, I didn't line them up particularly well, but so you can do it if you want to use this for wrapping and stacking, or just wrapping. That is entirely up to you. So that's the first one. So the more conventional G5020. I've got the bail end turner on this one. And this is more the one you're kind of used to, I guess. All of them have fantastic sound effects, I have to say. Unload the bail. I'll turn on automatic drop for the next one. What I do like about the bail end turner is it's a very simple design. It's not, there's no moving parts to it. It's just the way the actual bar's designed that it will just roll the bail. It hits the end stop and knocks the bail off. It's incredibly clever. Just twists it as it rolls in the metal. Absolutely brilliant. Now obviously this is the same with any DLC, is whatever the DLC might be, whatever it is that it's bringing to the game, if that's a process that you're not likely to do, or you're not into, or you don't do, or you don't like, then yeah, the DLC is not going to be for you. Unfortunately, it's that kind of you can't please everybody thing. If you like to have a go at all aspects of the game, then yeah, it's a cool addition to have. If you don't like doing bailing, if you don't do bail wrapping, if you don't do anything like that, then yeah, a lot of this pack is bailing and bail wrapping. If that's not your thing, then I guess it's not going to be for you. Will there be more stuff coming out as part of the Year 2 Season Pass that you're going to be into? I would say so. Generally speaking, across the whole Season Pass, there'll be something for everyone. For me personally, because of what I do and the content I do, and I like to kind of look at every aspect of the game, or try every aspect and play every aspect. There are certain bits I don't like as much as others, but I still give them a go. But again, like I say, that's going to be a personal preference for most people. But that brings me on to the last piece of equipment then, and we're going to use the square bail handler this time, and this is the G4010Q Profi. This will do round bails and square bails. I'm going to do it with square bails, but the cool thing with this, we start this up, I'm pretty sure we can unfold the wrapper as it is. Do I need to drop it down first? I think I do. If I'm going to turn on automatic drop on this one. Oh yeah. So we are now come over to it. L1, unfold bail wrapper. That's got a little engine in it, little motor that's running. So that, you don't need a tractor. This can be run independently in the field, in the yard, wherever it is you're operating it. This does have a light on it as well. Where's the light? There you go, toggle light. Got a light above. Oh, so this is one I was really, I think it's really cool. I just was kind of, I was smiling when I operated it. I just thought it's a cool bit of kit. So let's grab a bail. So release that. Why is that not wrapping it? It's not supported, why? Now, these ones I didn't make. These ones I got from the liftable bales pack. They're 180cm bales. That's curious. Okay, I have just produced 2 180cm bales. I'm sure this worked when I tested it. And again, it's good to know if it's not going to work the liftable bales pack. It's curious. There you go. So, other notes is, you know what, as I set it up I was thinking, which way around did I set it up when I tested it? Obviously if I'm loading from this side, mind you actually it probably would be a good idea, if you're doing it yourself, then you want it to unload the same side you put on, because you can put the bale on, wrap it, and you can grab the bale, move it, get the next one. If there's 2 of you or multiple people, one person will be stacking that side, it will unload that side, someone else can grab it and take it away. So it depends which way round you want it to operate. So if you want it to unload that side, you need it to be facing the other way round. Well, that's pretty cool actually. I'm really baffled. I could have sworn when I tested this, I tested it with the liftable bale, because I was trying to save myself time, and rather than having to make a bale, I thought if I just buy a couple. But it will work, and it will work with 180cm bales, square bales. It will do round bales as well. Let me just try another one of these, just in case. I'm just curious. Yep, not taking it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to whiz off, grab a round bale, show you it doing that, and then that'll be it. That's the Göweil Pack DLC first part from the Year 2 Season Pass. As you can see, yes, it is a square bale grab, but it will grab round bales as well. There you go. That's it from me. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.